Hi there, I'm David Clarke, and with my colleague Stephen Walker, we are going to run through a season update of the TMAF supported trials delivered by NIAB. We will go through the Morley long-term trial network, including the winter wheat and winter barley fungicide response trials, the periodic lifting sugar beet, and the Saxmundham experimental site. We will also look at the new farming systems trial programme and the Morley SAMS project. Let's start with Stephen on a windy afternoon in the winter wheat field.
Right, here we are, the winter wheat 20-05501, roughly growth stage 65, mid-flowering. I'm just looking at disease pressures across this season. This is an untreated plot. See, there's a substantial amount of disease in here, mainly associated with yellow rust. You can see the pustules on that stripe in there, compared to the treated plot, which seems to be fairly clean, and that's been pretty representative right across the trial this year. Just completed the final disease assessment at the winter barley lots, the growth stage 73 to 77. We've been sending leaf samples periodically for laboratory analysis for mainly net blotch and ramiolaria. So it'd be interesting to see the results from these and how they coincide with our own. So the last step of this trial is to take it to yield and harvest with a report to follow.
So we're at the Saxmundham experimental site from autumn 2019. This has been part of the Morley LOTS programme. We had a very wet winter. Unfortunately, last autumn TMAF had the field re-drained, put a feeder drain down that hedge connected to the old clay pike system, and it wasn't a perfect year to do it. We had lots of overwinter rain, and this wheat crop was meant to be winter wheat but didn't get drilled until February. Fortunately, that has given us an opportunity to get on top of a little bit of blackgrass issues in the top end of the field that don't appear to have reappeared this year with the later drilling. And we can see the FYM plot here with index 2 P soil and a higher organic matter of about 4.4 compared to 3.6 of the rest of the site. Looking quite good considering in comparison to other plots. We've got quite a few more heads in the FYM plots compared to untreated and lower P plots, and a much bigger GAI. If we move to an untreated plot just next to it, you can see the comparison there. A lot thinner, a lot smaller crop with much smaller heads and a fewer heads across the field. So we've just finished our last foliar P spray. This site's all pretty much done until harvest. So we'll see the results in August.
This is the sugar beet 2020 to 2021 trial. We'll just mark this out today. You can see with the yellow flags. We've had a look through the trial. There does appear to be a slight weed burden. I'm sure this has had its pesticide application. Failing that, if it's still there in a couple of days' time, within a week, we may come and rogue this just to prepare it for the first spray to begin in July.
We're here at the new farming system trials at Ballswood. We've got the rotations trial to my right, the cultivations trial to the left, and then the soil amendments trial in the background. This is in winter wheat this year. This was drilled quite late due to the wet autumn. Got in about the end of October, but however, following that we had very dry May and a late spring, and the crop was looking a little bit drought stressed. However, recent rains, we've had about an inch in the last month, has alleviated that somewhat. After this wheat is combined off, we're going to go cover crops followed by spring barley on the rotation trials, cover crops and spring barley on the cultivations trial, and then a winter barley on the soil amendments trial. The recent rains also kept the grass pathways growing, and Stephen's done a good job at mowing them. If we have a quick look in the rotations plot here, so if you have a look at this clover bicrop, you can see after the re-establishment in 2017, it then had a year to establish, followed by a spring oat last year. We haven't re-drilled that in the autumn. This has all come back from the roots and then seed that's been shed, and we've got a nice canopy cover there, hopefully feeding the soil with some nitrogen and providing a bit of cover when it is exposed. That'll hopefully, once this wheat is combined, that'll remain there and go into the following crop next autumn. So the Morley Soil and Agronomic Monitoring Study started in autumn 2018. We monitored 28 sites across the farm. One of these here has gone into maize this year. This is a new addition to the rotation across the farm. One of the reasons was due to the poor oilseed rate performance because of flea beetle, but also it gives the rotation another opportunity of a late drill spring crop to get on top of some of the ryegrass issues that are cropping up occasionally on some areas. One of these areas here was monitored as a SAM site last year, and we had actually over 250 ryegrass heads in the winter wheat crop. And you can see actually down the row, there's very little in terms of ryegrass with this maize crop. That's a combination of herbicide performance, and also the farm team has pulled a mechanical hoe through this. However, if we look in the maize crop, there are the odd ryegrass still remaining. The hope is that now we've had some rain, this maize will grow away and provide some shelter, and actually over the rotation with the inclusion of this, sugar beet and some spring cereals, that will get on top of that the ryegrass area on this issue and this part of the field. And the Morley SAM project will be able to monitor that and see how that progresses over the next 5 years.
For more information about the trials mentioned today, information flyers for new farming systems, annual reports and detailed long-term report for the Morley LOTS trials can be found at NIAB and TMAF websites. On December the 2nd, we'll be holding a new farming systems results conference, laying out the findings of the last 13 years of trials.